all of the criminal complaints, all 9 of them, and returned no bills, no charges on all 9 of them. And we are absolutely delighted. I've asked Deshaun not to talk about any contacts or anything, but I understand that people would at least like to hear the voice of this guy that you've only seen his lawyers on. It's hard for me to, so look, it's just part of the team. When we practice law, ever so often, we get a charge from the effort with a bunch of people for somebody that we know is being incredibly unfairly treated. We've listened to all of the complaints of those that are making these allegations against him. We've tried to be respectful to them, but this man has not done a single thing wrong, and this is the first step for them. My understanding, y'all can correct me because we weren't down there, that they heard several hours. One person in the meeting said 6 hours. I don't know whether that's true or accurate or not, but whatever they heard, citizens in Harris County had a chance to listen to evidence and make a decision. And we are extremely thankful of it. We feel like we've been treated fair by the whole system. It's taken a long time, but it's worth every minute of it. Now, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them. But I want y'all to understand, we're still facing a slew of civil lawsuits, and that's why Deshaun's not going to want to get into any of the facts or anything. But I realize you don't want to hear from a lawyer, and that you would rather hear from him. And it's the first time he's spoken since he sent about this matter, since he sent out a tweet back in, I guess, March of last year. So maybe I can be the ringmaster to a certain degree and just ask you if there's anything you want to tell the public, if you can hit these people.
Yeah, I just first want to say it's definitely a very emotional moment for me. I know we're far from being done of handling what we need to handle on the legal side, but today is definitely a big day, and I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for, letting the truth be heard, and I think everyone that was a part of this, of seeing and hearing both sides, and that's what my point and my team wanted to do, is have a fair slate of us telling our side of the story, and letting the conclusion come down to what happened today, and that's what the grand jury decided on. So yeah, thank you, and I just thank my Lord and Savior, and just gonna keep fighting to rebuild my name and rebuild my appearance in the community, and we're gonna continue to, on the legal side, off the field, handle what we need to handle, but also ready to get back on the field, been prepping for that, and ready to go for that. So thank my family, all my close supporters that's been behind me this past year. Thank my team that's been behind me and supporting me and keeping me up this past year. And yeah, I'm going to continue to just keep pushing forward and build my name back to where it was, if not better. Thank you.
So let me. I'm sorry. What was your question?
What do you say, Deshaun, to fans who've lost faith in you?
The question was, what does he say to fans that lost faith in him?
That's part of life. You hear things, and that's the way of, social media, and things happen, in today's world. I still love my fans, even the ones that believe the other side or whatnot, but at the same time, things are, happen for a reason, and people are entitled to their own opinions. But, today, justice was served for us, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
So let me mention, I know you've got other questions, but let me mention one thing is, I want y'all to go back to where this began. And I continuously, and our team said, we welcomed and wanted police involvement. We wanted thorough police investigations. We begged these women, if they believed that he had committed a crime and he had done what they were saying, they ought to go to the police. That's what everybody that's a victim of one of these things or believes they are. That's where it should start, is with the police. And so really, they only made these criminal complaints after we continued to urge them to do so. They did so, they were listened to, and we were vindicated in the sense that what we believed would happen, that if law enforcement thoroughly looked at these matters, that we would have the result we had today.
Mr. Hart, I know there are more depositions scheduled for next week. What bearing does this have on the civil case, if anything? What are you looking forward to on that side of things?
We're scheduled to start depositions on Tuesday on behalf of 2 other women. He'll fully answer questions there. And he won't be taking the 5th. I have said all along that when the criminal investigation was completed, we would answer their questions. But nobody but an insane lawyer would ever suggest that you would let him be asking civil deposition questions or answering them while the criminal investigation is completed. This puts to bed any criminal allegations or suggestions. What they presented to the grand jury today was everybody that has made a criminal complaint. And the grand jury spoke. That's behind us. Now we'll answer all their accusations and what they want to do in the civil cases. It'll proceed as normal.
Deshaun,
Pardon?
Has Deshaun, have you heard from the NFL or the Texans since this verdict today?
Personally, I have not. That's a question for my agent, David Mulligetta.
And for y'all to understand, we always kept this criminal and the civil matters, the legal matters, separate from negotiating with teams and football stories, okay? So we have been providing the NFL information as this went, and I'm sure they're going to do a thorough investigation. They customarily wait till the criminal matter is over, and I would expect them now to be aggressively investigating while we're continuing with the civil cases.
Deshaun, Rusty is saying that you'll speak more in civil depositions now, not exercising pleading the fifth. You talked about your chance to say your side in the way that you can since last year. The silence in between. What is your side through this past year?
No, he's not going to be his side. Okay. We'll do that in the civil side. We'll do that in court.
Deshaun, is there anything that you can tell these women that made these accusations?
I think we don't want to answer that. I'm sorry. And, because this is not the place to do it. I mean, we've been saying all along is the place to do it is in the criminal investigation and in the lawsuits and everything. Standing out here in the street corner talking to these women, first of all, I want to respect their position. They have a right to take that position, and we don't want to walk him into that. Obviously, he feels strongly about certain things. We do. But nothing be gained about us talking about it. It's been a pleasure to see y'all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I just ask about the NFL and some football-related question?
Well, but we don't know anything because he's had no contact with the NFL. That's always gone through me. Okay. They haven't been able to reach out to him. They would reach out to him through me. And right now they've stayed on the sideline until this was completed.
Rusty, do you see does your record on the criminal side give you any kind of merit in the civil case, or does it have any bearing at all?
It's 2 different worlds, but clearly it's helpful.